Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nexus Commentaries. I'm your host tonight, Majesty, running it solo, as it were. Thank you all for coming out. Tonight we have for you NGS Division B West, Caffeinated Nights versus Roll1Esports. It's not banned Caffeinated Nights, it's just Caffeinated Nights. So we updated that title, but whoops. Anyways, tonight we have Caffeinated Nights versus Roll1Esports, as iterated. Caffeinated Nights won the coin toss and opted for first pick. Then, so that allows Roll1 to have first map pick. The map bans were Ultrarec Pass and Cursed Hollow out of Roll1, denying the two somewhat larger maps, and then Caffeinated Nights banning out Braxis and Tomb, some of the lowest or smallest sized maps. We are going to Dragonshire for game 1. Dragonshire is one of the few maps you have to win the solo lane in, so this will come down a lot to solo lane matchups. It's one of the few maps that do show a favorable preference to position 2 than our second pick in the draft than first pick, because the last pick option to counter pick in that off lane is very important here. We're waiting for one more team to give the R for ready, and then we will get started. Hope you're all having good Mother's Day today. Hopefully you spent some time with your mother, or at least gave her a call. She misses you. You should give her a caller. So we are going to jump into draft here before we really have a chance to talk too much about the meta. This is the first cast that I've done right after the Tracer and Cassio reworks. Those heroes are still banned currently, so neither team will be banning them. Neither team will be able to play them right now. Beyond that, we have the Deathwing nerf, the Zool nerf. The Alarak has his new talent at the level 1, or the reworked talent at level 1. There's going to be a Rexar ban, very common ban on this map. Still very good in this offlane, basically giving that 2 bodies versus 1 body seniority over to whoever has the Rexar. On the other side, Roll1 is going to think about their ban a little bit here. Could be tanks, it could be healers, could be quite a few options here. They're going to opt to still ban out the Zool. I'm not entirely opposed to this. Even after his 2 sets of nerfs, I do not think they have quite nerfed some of the correct talents just yet. So I am anxious to see how that works out. There's going to be the Greymane ban. Greymane, one of the most universal heroes in the game. He's basically, since his release, only fallen out of meta like once or twice. Basically, if there's a halfway decent support available to either team, someone's going to pick Greymane, just because of how it works. On the other side, Roll1's going to use their next ban here, or we'll find out in a second, I guess. Apparently, they use all their time. That's fine. It's going to be Ana. Ana can be a very, very oppressive healer, because she denies all healing. There's Johanna, first pickup, very common, very tried and true. Johanna, just a lot of beef, add some wave clear, can never draft too much wave clear. No such thing as too much wave clear in a draft. The more wave clear you have, the more room air you have, because you can clear things and catch back up very quickly. On the other side of Roll1, I potentially an ETC or a Gary here. Those have been the tanks that Rock's been running. They're going to pick up Anduin, ETC. Rock's very well known for his ETC. Tried and true. There's Sylvanas, of course, being picked up now as well. Sylvanas also being very tried and true at this point in time. Very universal, has that turn off the towers ability, which has become a little bit more prevalent once again since the tower reworked aggro. There's the Stukov picked up as well. a very nice pairing of healer and tank. Johanna using Condemn and Punish, able to keep people inside that silence for quite a while. Also has knockbacks, potentially the root combo. Very CC heavy support, able to zone out very well on the bottom choke point. Or could just find a good position and maybe keep people from channeling for a while. Malthael ban out means that they're looking for an offlaner that's potentially going to be weak to Malthael. They could go something spicy here where they pick up like a mage and then Cho'Gall and run Cho'Gall in the top lane and really try to force something wacky out. It's unlikely, but I'm throwing it out there just because I can. There's nothing stops me from just telling people about random cheeses like that. There's going to be the KT ban. KT is a common pickup by Roll1Esports. Let's see here. What is Roll1 up for? Roll1 will pick up these slots. Jaina, Phoenix. A very, very good combo here. Purification Salvo, loving the slows from Jaina coming out. A little bit mobile as well. He's able to kind of dug in and out of fights a little bit. Potentially blink past Dukov silences. Jaina just kind of chilling there. Able to do a lot with her mage powers. She's, I'm sure everyone knows the power of Jaina. It's gonna be Leoric Hanzo. It is an interesting situation on this map to try to have to draft that offlaner, so you just have to pick something that you're comfortable with or that you think may generically counter what the enemy is going to pick. So in this case, they saw the Malthael ban, which is percentage-based damage, and said they're banning out that, then we might want to opt into something that has percentage-based damage as a backup. And so in this case, they opted for Leoric. And Roll1 is saying, we're going to play Yrel. Yrel, she's still good. Like, don't get me wrong. She's good, even if she's not that common. She's very tanky. She's out quite a, she's got like the health bar of a Johanna and the damage of not quite a Sonya. But she's got extra CC. She's got her ultimate that lets her have the absorb status. And of course, Bubble Hearth, one of the best talents in the game. And representing Caffeinated Nights in Game 1 of Caffeinated Nights versus Roll1Esports, we have Vivian Che on Hanzo, Jägermeister on Sylvanas, Saiyan CP9 playing Leoric, Osmanthus on Johanna, and Harborom playing Stukov. And on the side of Roll1Esports, we have Ezad on the Phoenix. We have Rock Your World on his signature ETC. We have Poe on the Jaina, Big Beard himself on the Yrel, and Waniba playing Anduin. This map is really nice. I like what they've done with the when they remodeled this map. I think they did a nice job with it. I'm a fan of it. Just throwing that out there.
Battle commencing in
I can't activate the Easter eggs. Alright. I still think these sections are janky. But we're going to see W build Hanzo Progress coming out. We're of course going to see the almighty Dauntless from Yrel, pursued by Grace there for Anduin. Ossian Renewal picked up on the Yorick, Hold Your Ground. Reactive Ballistforce there. Yorick is the only person in mid lane. He's looking to slow down as Caffeinated Nights to go down here using the Sylvanas cheese. They got about half a tower. So it's not nothing, but it's not a whole lot either. Yorick is still going to soak mid, and then he's probably going to head top. Meanwhile, Johanna is going to be the first blood of this game. Big Beard going to back off. Not quite able to channel much on his jump before he jumps on it. Try to back off. 300 health. He's going to go ahead and back and then go top. Meanwhile, you're going to have Jaina do Jaina things. It actually looks like Roll1's just going to go for a level 1 gank on the Yorick here. Is he going to sniff it out? Not in time. There's the power slide. He's underneath the root. He's getting Blizzard, but he does have the Unstoppable, and he's going to be able to Wraith Walk away. It looks like he's already trying to set up a double soak scenario here on the Yorick. Meanwhile, Zad here on the Phoenix is going to lose all of his shield and half his HP very quickly here. to the Sylvanas, who is overwhelming affliction. So if a target is slowed, her auto attacks deal 1% of their health as bonus damage. Able to pair very well with the Stukov W. Johanna, of course, is very, very good at slowing people. And we now see Big Beard come down. He's gonna try to catch the mid wave here, and then he'll probably run back up top. Sylvanas is on the siege camp there for Caffeinated Knights. Well, Johanna's going to step up into that wave a little bit. There's going to be a W that misses from Stukov, but it's alright. It's alright. You got plenty of time. This is very early into the game. Neither team really going to focus too much on the dragon just yet here. We actually see the siege camp being picked up now by Roll1, a little bit behind. We'll see if that matters here soon. Rock's going to be sitting on this as long as he can. They are able to get the top one, so as soon as they get that full channel, he's just going to go ahead and power slide out of that. It's going to be interesting to watch this top lane a little bit here to see what they opt to do. Is the Leoric going to try to keep up the double soak, or is he going to opt to try to fight Yrel for this point? Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we do have the classic keep Joe on point as long as you can strategy. Now, there's a big 3-man condemn as Sylvanas comes in from the flank. There's a power slide onto her, though. And a boop back there from ETC into Roll1. As Roll1 is still a little bit on the retreat here. Zed waiting for his shields to regenerate while he's trying to keep up the wave clear. Both top laners in mid lane currently soaking that up. As Satan does have the option here to queue the wave and then try to like walk around and grab a capture here in the top lane, as his team is able to hold bottom here. There's a big power slide onto 2 here. It's going to potentially cause the death of Stukov, but instead ETC is going to die for it. The dash forward there from Sylvanas as Roll1 is going to take a Hanzo cube to the face. Leoric is still just double soaking, not really too interested. It looks like Caffeinated Knights are opting to soak up a little bit here instead of opting for the dragon, which is a legitimate strat on this map we've seen before. The delay, as long as you can to the late game, early dragons aren't that strong. With the changes to XP2, you're not looking like trying to snowball a game with a couple early dragons. Leoric is going to finally capture that top point as Yrel is going to move up, but ETC is on the bottom one as well, so no one's really able to go for it just yet, but Hanzo could try for it instead of coming back to bottom. Looks like instead of going for it, they're going to rotate down and they're going to see if Leoric can get it. No! Caffeinated Knights just have no interest whatsoever on going for this Dragon Knight just yet. They just want the points just because having the points means Roll1 can't get the Dragon either, so they don't have to worry about defending it. Roll1 here getting a little bit low here on the bottom points. Caffeinated Knights just stepping up continuously into their face. They're able to get the point. Yrel was able to re-secure the top point there. Good Wraith Walk from Leoric keeps him from getting stunned out by the knockback of Yrel. Yrel's build, let's see, Hand of Freedom for that movement speed, and then anti-CC could be good. A lot of slows coming out here from Caffeinated Knights, so I like that pickup. Holy Avenger, of course, the new kind of standardized build here on Yrel. The Mario build, as I've recently heard it referred to as. You just try to jump on people's heads with this talent as much as you can. Zed here going to be in trouble and is going to go ahead and fall here. 2 kills to 1 so far in favor of Caffeinated Knight, as the siege camp from both teams is now respawned. Meanwhile, there is only half a health left on one tower here on the side of Roll1 here in the bot lane. Johanna's going to step up once again. Let me move my mouse out of the way so you can see this going on. Power slide barely going to keep ETC from being silenced by the Stukov there. Hanzo's trying to ricochet his arrows. Jägermeister going to go ahead and back on Sylvanas here. Whether Hanzo and Stukov go for the siege camp. Looks like Roll1's going to go for a similar idea here. Leoric is going to go top lane. He's going to go ahead and channel that point back up. While Yrel is in mid lane. She's getting a little bit ahead in double soak, you'd feel like, but the level 10 is going to be picked up here right here for Caffeinated Knights, which could be used here to secure the first dragon. Sylvanas was trying to channel there, but Big Beard says no and jumps on top of his head. We do have Dragon's Arrow, Wailing Arrow, so we have both the arrow ultis coming out here from Caffeinated Knights into Blessed Shield and Flailing Swipe. Ooh, Hanzo's Dragon Arrow is going to weave through the opponents there like a thread through the eye of a needle and not quite hit anything as he passes through. Leoric is actually looking to potentially move down here. Looks like they're going to 5-man commit to a bottom push here on the side of Caffeinated Knights, while Roll1 tries to soak up 10. There's an Entomb onto Jaina. There's the Condemn as well. They can't get through with the ETC to try to peel, but there's not quite enough follow-up. She was able to walk out without taking too much damage at all. Roll1 does lose the fort, but they get 10s in the meanwhile. Mosh Pit, it is the Purification Salvo summon, Water Ellie, Ardent Defender, and Light Bomb. So, a lot of CC ultis out of Roll1. A lot of big ones on both teams, in fact. Just a lot of solid ultis in the game right now. A lot of very strong ones. And now it's going to be Roll1's turn to have the 5-man in bot lane while Leoric runs to the top. They're going to go ahead and trade out top for bottom as Leoric's in the top still. He's going to be able to pick up that point right at the same time, basically, as Rock's able to grab the bot one. Here comes the Mosh Pit with the Light Bomb, and it's going to go out onto Johanna. She was also going to get rooted, but it was interrupted by the Stukov. And now you have 3 big ultimates, well, 2 big ultimates coming out from Roll1. Purification Salvo did get soft interrupted, so it was only a 10-second cooldown there. But it's back up now, and he's looking for it here. With the help of the Jaina, he might be able to get quite a few slows, or even the ETC knockback there with the loudspeaker able to put the slow on to Caffeinated Knights. Meanwhile, the dragon is now completely able to be picked up here by Caffeinated Knights. It looks like Big Beard's here. He's looking a little low. He might opt to try to run top here. York's chasing him down as well, because you are slowed while you are channeling an ability there on your Ralph. She's going to go ahead and run top. She's not the highest amount of health, but if Lyric lands a creepy hand on her, she could just pop Ardent Defender to heal back up. Phoenix is getting low here as well as ETC. There's the silence onto Jaina. There's a 2-man power slide and the light bomb coming up, but it doesn't matter. Hanzo's going to channel the dragon. In the meanwhile, there goes Purification Salvo. They're going to pick up the Stukov. And the Water Ellie is out now as well. There's the Savannah's passive coming out, turning off that tower. First dragon is going to go over to Caffeinated Knights, but at the cost of a Stukov. It's actually also going to be auto attack build coming out of Leoric here in the late game, so the anti-damage, their Wraithwalk style play that you normally see in more organized play, but that's alright. This will let him box the Urel a lot better in lane and just try to fight for those dragons when they want them instead of just waiting for dragons of opportunity. Roar. Interesting. Guess I'm starting to see Roar a little bit more. This is the second time I've recently seen Roar, even though I don't think it's that good of a talent. Anyways, the teams are fighting, but they are underneath the Roll1 tower here, which was focusing down Johanna. Lyric was also pretty low, and this dragon's about to fall. We're going to see what they opt for here. They're going to kick away ETC, which is going to deny the ability for a counter engage as soon as dragon drops. There's the Urel, though, going to jump ahead onto Hanzo. There's the Entomb coming out, hitting no one as they were getting bumped back as well. Here comes a Mosh Pit onto 0, but it's going to pull out the Wailing Arrow in exchange. Stukov Silence is going to be there in time, and the Anduin Pool is not going to be able to save him. Here comes the Dragon Arrow, this time landing onto 2. As the root goes out from Anduin, not quite hitting anyone. Phoenix is going to be able to blink out. Big Beard now on the retreat as well. He's popped the Absorbing, even though he's not quite taking any damage. If he popped it and walked through Stukov Silence, at least he could have healed, but it did give him the opportunity to walk around the tower, tap, and get out. Now Caffeinated Knights are going to steal away Roll1 Siege Camp here in the bot lane. Auxiliary shields picked up there for Phoenix. Windrunner. Check. Looks like we're going to get Blizzard build here out of Jaina instead of the normal Icy Vein. Icy Vein is a very strong talent, but this would allow Jaina to play a lot safer, and right now maybe she just needs to play safer. Maybe that's what she feels like is the issue here. Push forward. Interesting. Push forward. Yeah, that is the talent I was thinking of this. Alright. As now both teams are just back into that soak as they're on the race to 16, which is a race that basically looks like it's going to be single-handedly won here by Caffeinated Knights, and they're going to pick up 16 very soon here. Though Roll1 does have a camp going top. Leoric is going to miss the creepy hand, but he's going to be able to Wraithwalk back a little bit, and now 16s are picked up here for Caffeinated Knights, and now he does have the Mithril Mace. He's going to be able to stack quite a few up here off of the this huge wave by Roll1. There also is an entomb onto Urel here. We'll have to see how this works out, as both teams are just going to walk away now. Here in the bot lane, Johanna's on the point, but so are 3 members of Roll1 as she's going to move forward. There's going to come the Dragon Arrow onto all 4. Whale Arrow follow-up as well. Stukov silence, and that was just the combo Caffeinated Knights were looking for as they get the root combo as well onto ETC, and that is 4 dead on the side of Roll1. It is up to Big Beard here to figure out how he's going to stall this. Is he going to wait and still at the Dragon, or is he going to go for the point? It looks like he's just going to clear the wave. It's going to be the second Dragon over to Caffeinated Knights here. And apparently Jägermeister misclicked and taunted. As Caffeinated Knights pull the Dragon down to the bot lane, looking for at least a keep, maybe 2 keeps, or maybe keeping core if they're able to get a couple pickoffs here. Rel is still in the top lane. 16 talents still not picked up here on the side of Roll1. As they're marching forward, it does look like they're going to opt to go for the core here on this game. Are they going to have a sub 13-minute game? Here comes the mosh pit, but it's going to be quickly interrupted by Stukov once again. There's going to be the Phoenix Purification salvo as well as Light Bomb coming out. Big Beard's in trouble here. He's going to try to jump away a little bit. How far can he get as he gets hit by the W there from Hanzo? He's going to be pulled by Ando. He's going to walk into the core now. Phoenix getting low is going to get punted away as well. 69% left on core. There comes the power slide after a huge rock hit as well from the core. And this core mechanic may be the death of Caffeinated Knights, as now Leoric is going to fall down as well. And a huge stun there onto Johanna. Now she's going to be rooted. The stun's going to go out there onto Sylvanas as well, and this core mechanic is doing value. This is what Blizzard wanted. They wanted the cores to be stronger. They wanted it to be flashier when you were trying to push the core. And here they got it here, as now Sylvanas will fall down as she gets Mario'd by the Urel. Roll1 able to pick up 4 kills there. Hanzo was able to get out before all that started to go down. And now they're going to be able to step up, grab their siege camp. They would even have time to invade the opposing team's siege if they're keeping track of that timer. They also need to race to 20 though, because they are still down 2 levels even after all of that. The rabies facts, Zexorus, are on the page where I show my face, so you'll see it after this game. As Roll1 does go ahead and invade Caffeinated Knights' siege camp here. Now they're going to be able to push in bottom a little bit, and then when Caffeinated Knights has 20, they can just leave. Mosh Pit's still about 15 seconds out. Urel is in the top lane soaking. New York is in mid lane cleaning that back up. Phoenix here is going to go ahead and get condemned, as well as Jaina. But there comes the Blessed Shield. There's going to be the pull from Anduin in time, but that's a 2-man Dragon Arrow once again. Phoenix is going to try to blink out. There's the Light Bomb onto 1. There's the Entomb, though, also onto 1, and it's going to be enough to get the Phoenix dead. There goes the Power Slide forward. Here comes the Mosh Pit onto 2 this time, but once again interrupted by Stukov, as well as getting the Wailing Arrow. He's going to be in trouble here trying to back off. Urel's going to try to slow down the Caffeinated Knights on the retreat here. For Roll1, once again, there's going to be the Cone of Cold onto Leoric to slow him down to give Urel the room that she needs, but it might spell doom for her as she's going to have to Ice Block. Here comes the dash forward from Sylvanas. She's going to be able to get quite a bit of damage there onto Jaina, but the Power Slide from ETC going to be able to peel once again, absorbing out there the Ardent Defender coming out from Urel. And now Caffeinated are going to back off, with the exception of Leoric is going to stay very, very pushed in, but he is Leoric, so even if he dies, it's not that big, and he also has Wraith Walk, but he's going to be able to walk away now as well. Urel's going to go for that top point here very shortly, as Caffeinated Knights pick up the bot one. Sylvanas is now in the top lane, but she is going to have to fight the Urel, as 20s are now picked up here by Roll1, who are picking up a Bruiser camp. I kind of like this. Push, get the Bruiser camp. Rel is now in a 1v1 situation against the Leoric. Be able to jump over, keep that contested. The longer she keeps it contested, while it's not being able to be channeled. There's the Power Slide onto Hanzo. Any follow-up available. Phoenix is going to throw out his Q, but that's about it. Now the big silence, but he isn't going to get rooted here. But Rock is isolated here, 1v4. He's going to go down. The Hanzo stun arrow at 20 was just enough. to get him killed. Meanwhile, Yrel able to retake top lane. 1v1 against the Orc. She is down health, but he is opting to clear that wave up a little bit here. As Caffeinated Knights might just look to opt to try to end here while the ETC is down. Here comes the Dragon Arrow onto 2, as well as the Wailing Arrow on 1, and when able to pull out. The Phoenix is then able to blink away. There comes another nice Ice Block from Jaina, but now she's under the silence from Stukov. She's going to go down. Now you have Zad here going to back. He needs to stop backing. He needs to be able to fight this. Here comes the Yrel, now going to be able to jump onto the spots. Light Bomb onto 1, but Entomb onto 2 as well, and now is the silence. Entomb, the Purification salvo comes out, but it's not going to be enough as game 1 is going over to Caffeinated Knights. Alrighty, so game 1, Caffeinated Knights versus Roll1. It was nice. It was nice. It was good. It was a good back and forth. 12 kills to 7. Caffeinated Knights did come out a little bit early. It did feel like they had the momentum most of the game, if not all game, but it never felt like Roll1 was truly out of it there until the core was gone. Hanzo, 0 deaths though. Very well played on his part. Only 1 death. 1 death. 3 deaths on Johanna. This stat swapping would have been nice. More passive value there out of Yorick, as it would be. ETC doing the most self-healing, but Prog does scale very well. And here you go, Zexers. Here's your Raby facts. So, as we're waiting for game 2, I would like to inform you, whenever the series ends, I will post in chat after the delay has caught up. I'm going to try to avoid spoiling when a game ends. I will be posting a link. That link is for a survey that NGS is pushing for the casters and co-casters to put out, where you, the Twitch chat, can give us anonymous feedback on how we did. What did you like, what you not like, things like that. And that way, NGS as a whole community of casters are able to improve our casting in general. So, I will be posting that link about a minute after the last game ends, which could be after the next one, could be after 2 more. Who knows? That was a close game. Could be either way. And it looks like for game 2, we're going to be going to Towers of Doom. More than 1 tower. And it looks like it was Caffeinated Knights map pick because Roll1 opted for first pick. So, Towers of Doom, usually the traditional strategy is 4-man bot and then a double soaking, basically AFK double soaking off lane. And so, that is what I'm expecting both these teams to play. Could these teams play differently? Yes. And that would be exciting. Double soaking options include, but are not limited to, Raphael, Yorick once again, Yrel, Murky, TLV. Dahaka has done it a couple times. Sonya can kind of do it. Gazlo's actually pretty good at it. Once he has 4. Kind of like Leoric, he speeds up a lot at 4 with his wave clear. I would be excited with a lot of those picks. This game is guaranteed to hit at least level 13. And it only ends at 13 if someone gets snowballed out of the game. And that's not common on Towers of Doom, so we expect this game to go 16, potentially 20. Very easily. And because of that, you tend to see a lot of more late game heroes being picked up. Vala's. Sylvanas is pretty good in the late game. And we just saw her. Ming's. Mephisto's. Lunara's. Lunara is very common as well for that. Falstead is given priority on this map sometimes as well because of the global option from the offlane. So a lot of options there. I did like the Sylvanas play from Caffeinated Knights. I liked the Leoric play. I expect those two to either be picked up again or banned out. Roll1, on the other hand, they need to kind of rethink a little bit of what they had. They kind of got behind and they weren't able to recover, so they need to be thinking of that as well. I think the Urael did good. I think it's hard to see that sometimes, but I did feel like she did well. I wouldn't mind the Urael again as the double soak option. Beyond that, like they could take a couple of the same picks, but I'd prefer to see not the exact same comp out of them. I don't think it would work. It didn't work the first time. I don't expect it to work the second time. So that's kind of where my my thought process is at the moment. What do you guys think? Any interesting picks or anything that you would like to see on Towers of Doom? Alright, one team ready? I'm ready. You ready? Very ready, because once Roll1 says we're ready, we're rolling. Thank you, Moist Venus, for the 69 bits. Always appreciated. Alright, Roll1 needs a couple seconds. That's fine. Alright, here we go. We're going into Draft 2 of Roll1Esports versus Caffeinated Knights. Caffeinated Knights up 1-0 at the moment. The bans could be... I expect Leoric to potentially be banned out, just because he's unable to double soak on this map. Zul will probably be banned once again, though Roll1 does have first pick priority. So first pick priority might mean they not ban Zul and try to pick it. Thank you for another 69 bits there, Moist Venus, for being a man's man for drinking from a jug. Abba's solo healer. Abba's solo healer hasn't been a thing since they reworked Abathur. Not that it couldn't work, it's just not consistent enough anymore. The healing's just too low in output. There is going to be the Mothale ban once again out of Roll1Esports. Morales awfully. There's the Joe ban coming out of Caffeinated Knights, who did play Johanna in the last game, so that could be interesting. So is this going to be the Leoric ban? Do they just focus the off-lane double soakers and then take Zul and then try to force Caffeinated Knights onto something a little bit less comfortable and consistent? They're going to opt to ban the Ana once again. That's alright. The Ana ban's I'm not opposed to the Ana ban. Now, if this isn't a Zul ban, then it's probably going to be another tank ban. We do have chat there rooting for main tank Uther. It's going to be the ETC, so we are moving closer to main tank Uther territory. It's going to be, of course, the Zul first pick there out of Big Beard. So we're going to have to see what Caffeinated Knights want to do as the counter double soaker to Zul. So not only does he have good wave clear, but you also have to contend with the fact that he's spawning additional minions you have to clear, where he's going to be getting push value. On this map, compared to other maps where I would normally go W build on Zul, I think this one is a good one to go skeleton build. As we're going to see, Anduin Greymane picked up here out of Caffeinated Knights, looking to build potentially a little bit more towards the team fight than Roll1 might be. Not that Zul is exceptionally bad at the team fight by any means. I imagine this will be a tank, potentially also a healer pickup here out of Roll1. They could opt, if they're gonna Sylvanas, they could maybe take it here. Jaina wouldn't be too bad of a pickup either if they're going for DPS options. They're going to opt for Murden Deckard. Now, Deckard, I think his build has completely changed with the buff to Ruby. I think Ruby's absolutely bonkers now. I think it's just busted. I think Deckard's just the top healer at the moment, in my opinion. Murden's a little interesting, because usually you don't pick up Murden until there's more tanks not available. So maybe they have a specific dive comp that they're looking at. There's going to be the Mephisto ban out there by Caffeinated. One of those heavy scalers we were talking about earlier. Taking Murden and Deckard together could be looking at a potential dive comp out of Roll1. With the rubies and then the Murden jump forward, it's going to be the Ming ban out to deny that kind of gray main Ming just instantly in target. There's going to be Garrosh and Falstead there coming out from Caffeinated. Maybe a little bit less priority now on the double soak, and they can do a 1-1-3 split where Falstead sits mid and then just globals to wherever they need him. Out of Roll1, we're looking for their 2 DPS picks here, or a DPS and flex in a less likelihood, but they're going to go for Kael'thas Thrall. This is going to be a 4-man Thrall. It's going to look to stack some serious Crash Lightning, probably. Maybe even some Maelstrom weapon coming out. So not quite the dive comp that we had theorized was maybe coming around the corner from Roll1, but it's definitely not a bad pickup in my opinion. I think either of his ultis could be big here as coming out. Still questioning the Murden pick, but you never know. And there's of course going to be the Yorick there. Out to Caffeinated once again. Just for that double soak pressure. Hope you're all having a good day. Out of these 2 drafts, I'm gonna say I favor Caffeinated a little bit, because Grayme and Garrosh are just, I think, really good. I really like the Yorick play out of last game. Even though he went into the auto tech build, he could swap that around this time around. And on the side of Caffeinated anyways, we have Vivinche on the Grayme. I'm so sorry for butchering your guys' names. Jägermeister on the Falstead, Saiyan CP9 playing the Yorick, Harborum on the Anduin, and Osmanthus on the Garrosh. And on the side of Roll1Esports, we have Deckard Cain being played by Waniba, Zed on the Thrall, Rock Your World, and the Murden, Big Beard on the Zool, and Poe playing the Kael'thas. Level 1 talents coming out. We are going to see, of course, the classic Mana Addict, and it's actually going to be Echoes of the Elements here for Thrall. It could be, and this would be spicy,
the battle begins.
A 4-man Zool, and they're going to double soak 4-man from mid bot instead of going 1 person mid top.
4, 3.
He's going to pick up Shade here, so he's going to be able to dodge auto text, which is actually probably a solid pickup. Body check out of Garrosh, Bribestad, and then Renew. Big Beard freaking out over here in the corner. As here comes the crashing of the first waves. Rock's going to get thrown in and jump right back out. Here's going to be the root, though. Double roots potentially onto the York. He's going to actually Wraithwalk away from those. 3 stacks already picked up there for the Deckard. As now Rock's going to actually be stunned out of his jump. And now he's going to be in quite a bit of trouble here. As he's going to drop down to 80, 30. Oh, and he's going to be the first to fall here. But they're going to be counter kills in return. 75 health there on the Grave. He's slowly counting back up. And he's not going to fall. The 1-for-0 trade out once again in the early game coming out of Roll1. As now Falstead's here in the bot lane. He doesn't have that much health, they're able to land a root on him. And it is going to be Zool there in the top lane. It is going to be 4-man Thrall. 4-man Thrall echoes the elements. Not bad, but a lot of times you try to greed out the Crash Lightning if you're going to go for that. Kael'thas getting picked off here in the mid lane. It looks like he was chucked by the Gary and then just blown up. as far as I can tell. Zul, of course, outclearing Leoric, especially pre-4, makes a lot of sense. He's hiding around the corner, waiting for the boys on Caffeinated Nights and girls. I actually don't know. To leave. Now, Caffeinated Nights hanging around Roll1 Siege Camp there, trying to look for a potential steal away. And you can just see the power of Zul with how big that minion wave is already. Basically 11 minions instead of the standard 7. When it all is said and done. And you have to deal with that constantly. Until he has Neo Peasants, the Orc's going to have a hard time. It's actually, they're still fighting for this camp, and Garrosh is going to be the first to fall there. After he gets rooted, there's the stun onto Falsehead coming out of Murden. But it's not going to be followed up on. There's going to be a living bomb coming out, and it's just going to boom, blow up on his face a little bit. Zul, though, heavy wave clear. We can see the power of Zul just in this AFK double soak scenario that's just provided to them. Here's the Neo Peasants now. The Orc may have an option to not fall as far behind now, and then after the first altar phase when both teams kind of reset that double soak setup coming out of the top laners, then we'll probably see him be able to keep up completely. Of course, there's the buff for Ruby now with only a 10-second cooldown. I view Ruby as increased cubes cooldown by a second and a half, deal 100% bonus damage, and spawn mini potions on every cast. That's basically how that works. Is the Orc is just going to be CC chained to death, unable to Wraith Walk in time, as Roll1's just able to pick him off here in the mid lane. They are going to try to rush down here and maybe stop these sappers from hitting the wall. There's the stun onto Garrosh and the root. Anduin's going to pull him back, but he does have the living bomb. It's not going to spread it in time. So Zul ahead once again, and almost a whole level lead already coming out from, what's about a quarter of a level lead coming out of Roll1 right now. They're not going to be over anxious here with this bottom objective point. They are going to go ahead and finish clearing out the sappers first. There's some anti-heal coming out onto Murden from the body check. They're going to try to channel here on the side of Caffeinated Nights. Are going to try to interrupt the channel from Roll1, but are unable to do so, and now the CCs are going to start coming out as well. I think Kel'Thas could have finished that if he hadn't actually gone for the gravity lapse there. Top's just going to go ahead and trade out, and now Roll1's going to pick that up, giving themselves a 30... No, Zul was interrupted. Zul was invaded, actually. So Caffeinated Nights coming out of the first altar phase ahead by 4 shots. Echoes the Elements now finish. As now we just see the wave clear game start up once again. Skullcracker picked up here for Murden, looking for that extra stun every third auto, as well as the crit damage here. Just more CC. There's the cube doing reduced damage. Now Zul was thinking about backing, and then he's not going to opt to, because now we're going to have to see a 4v5 fight here in the mid lane. Roll1's going to see the Thrall get thrown in, but not quite far enough to get the stun off from Garrosh, but it doesn't matter, as the root there from Anduin was enough follow-up, as they were able to go ahead and burst him down anyways, unable to move into those mini potions coming out of the Deckard. More stacks coming out there for the Murdens. Perfect Storm at 1. Does cap at 6,500 stacks, or 65,000 stacks, which I would love to see someone get. That probably just one-shots people in the game, but I doubt Rock's got the skill to get 65,000 stacks on Perfect Storm before this game ends. But you never know. Weird things sometimes happen in Heroes of the Storm. That's why we love it. Both teams are kind of doing like a double soak, where both the 4-man and offlaners are double soaking. Rock's gonna go ahead and jump out in that scenario after getting thrown around. There's the other root from Zul there onto the Greymane. How much are they able to punish it? And the answer is a little bit. About half his health bar going down, as he's slowly gonna be healed up there by the Anduin. There's the shield coming out on Zul. Kel'Thas is gonna go for a quick channel, but it's gonna be interrupted by Jägermaster's auto attack, as now we're gonna see the setup. Roll1 does want to try to win the fight over probably taking this altar. If anything else, there's the Orc going to go ahead and fall. If Roll1 can win this fight, they'll secure 10s, and then they can secure like a snowball and start getting going here. There's going to be the interrupt onto the channel there from the KT, who is now out of mana, as Thrall's going to be the next to fall, as he was able to go ahead and jump onto that backline. Murden's going to go ahead and jump out now, as Zul's going to run forward as the Orc respawns there in the back. Little Zul minions coming out here are able to stop the channel once again. As Roll1 is just kind of confined to this choke point, they need to figure out another way of going in here, and it looks like Murden's going to go ahead and wrap around along with the Zul there. Decker's going to throw the root across, but they're still being zoned out by this Leoric. There's a throw backwards onto the Murden from the Garrosh, and he's going to go ahead and fall and pay for that crime. Zul's going to try to run away here, as well as the KT, as Zad's going to walk up from the other side here, and now able to throw out a root, but is unable to get any more interrupts, and that altar phase will go over to Caffeinated Knights, as Roll1 races to get 10 now, and both teams will pick it up simultaneously, losing that XP lead there in the fight. We're going to see the ultis coming out here on the side, as well as the bottom. We are going to see the spicy Pyroblast, as well as Roll1 after its buff. It is now only 35 mana and 30 seconds on that ultimate, which is incredibly good at fighting in choke points. Sunder was the ult choice here, and of course we have Gust and Bolus, the Leoric's Entomb, Light Bomb, and Warlord's Challenge. So mostly standard ults with a little bit of spice here on the side of Roll1. Though maybe Roll1 is just so low of a cooldown you just take it anyways. But we'll have to see how that pans out for them here. We did know that last game they were Caffeinated Knights were able to interrupt Mosh every single time pretty quickly. So maybe they just figured stay a while and listen would be a similar situation there, especially with the Gust. They're going to be the throw onto Rock, but he's able to jump, but then he's going to get taunted. Now comes the Light Bomb out from Garrosh as well onto 2. Here comes Roll1, unable to zone anyone quite back in their towers, but does let Roll1 disengage from this fight if they opted for it. But instead they're going to keep walking forward here. As we do see Zextrus' favorite skin there on the Murden, the Candyman Murden. Now the Falstead's going to go ahead and fly top. Looks like they're going to look for a gank here onto the Zul. They're going to go ahead and pop and tink, but Zul also pops the Skeleton Mages. Does he have his shield available? He's going to try to W sustain through this. Now the Garrosh is, or Greymane is there as well, the other G character on the side of Caffeinated Knights. Trying to give me a tongue twister there. Zul's going to go ahead and back his 4 men set up here on the side of Roll1 to look for the, probably just the quick trade here. They probably just want to trade. Wait, the next altar phase, I believe, is the triple altar phase. It is the 1st and 5th altar phases are always the triple ones, which always are going to be these 2, and then either this one or this one. So it does mean that double soak setup will be kind of important to see what happens for the next altar phases. The Light Bomb is going to go ahead and miss. Here comes the Pyroblast, but he does have 21 armor. Now he's going to be stunned down to 27, 45, but it's going to be unable to survive as Pyroblast gets the pick off. There comes another gank there onto the Zul there with the Leoric and the Falstead. There's Gust and Entomb down. They're really trying to focus him down, but the W build coming out from him is going to be able to give him quite a few bits to the same, but he is going to go ahead and fall this time, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3 sappers onto the mid gate of the top tower. In the bot lane, meanwhile, Roll1's going to go ahead and push forward here on this siege, and go ahead and take down a tower. Are they also? How much are they going to get here? They're going to get the tower, the gate. Are they going to get the second tower? They are, in fact, going to get the second tower. They're not going to push yet for the fort. Instead, Falstead's going to go ahead and fly down. Garrosh is actually looking for the wraparound, but here comes the Leoric as well. This is now a 5v4. Zul's just on his way to the back to the top lane after Becky is actually going to rotate around, but there comes the Warlord's Challenge onto 2. There goes the bullet onto Murder. He's just going to go ahead and pop to Avatar State. It's actually Garrosh is going to be the first to fall. Tornado going to be able to separate their team. There's the Light Bomb onto the Leoric, but unable to fall in time. And 2 coming out as well. They're able to block Roll1 from able to chase 2 well, and that's going to be the next fight coming out. And now Big Bear is going to go back to double soaking as the rest of Roll1 is going to look to probably push these sappers into the fort here, which would secure about just shy of half of this fort if they're able to push it in consistently. They are going to go ahead and also look to potentially steal away the enemy sappers here. As the double altar phase spawns, Roll1 going to go ahead and try for a quick channel in the bot lane, but Greymane is not going to let that happen, of course. Falstead's going to get zoned out here from this camp by the Murden, and it's actually going to be Big Beard there on a quick channel there on the middle altar. There is no Avatar State available this time for the Murden. He's going to go ahead and leap out. Now Skeletal Mages are also available onto the field, and they also secure the camp. They did push in the first set of sappers there in the bot lane and able to take half of the bottom fort. Now go ahead and have Zed channel this one out as the rest of Roll1 zones out Caffeinated Knights. Now they do have an option. They are going to get one more sapper in on this, so this could be their opportunity to quickly try to run in and take it as minions are there. They do have the Zul available, but he's going to go ahead and go back to double soaking. He's already in the mid lane. And now both teams are going to slowly start to reset here. Roll1 gonna look for potentially a bush gate here to see who, if it's Leoric or if someone else from Caffeinated is gonna show up. And then after that pick, I'll probably go and try to secure the bottom fort. Bottom fort at 1300 health. Let me set down my juice here. As they walk around the corner, there's going to be the throw onto the KT as well as Bullet, but the Garrosh is actually looking in trouble as he's going to get rooted from Zol, and then Decker, he's down to 500 health, which does mean he has 41 armor available. Here comes the Pyroblast onto Garrosh. Once again, he's going to go ahead and fall down to that as they're jumping forward. I'm trying to get onto this Greymane. Greymane's going to go try to trade out with Poe there on the KT, but is unable to successfully do so. Murden, of course, is going to do Murden things down and quickly heal back up. Having this more aggressive, damage-oriented tank coming out from Roll1 seems to be working in their favor over the ETC this time around. Now they're able to run in here. They are trying to take the 1472 health there onto it, and they're going to succeed in rapid fashion there on securing that bottom fort. Now we do have
Our tower has fallen.
Dratic Staff. Man, I should really learn how to say that word.
You had better.
We have the stun talent coming out there onto Decker, so she's going to be able to self-peel a little bit. Every 5 seconds, her next auto basically stuns for 3/4 of a second. Or it does, it's exactly what it does. So we'll have to see how that plays in here. Decker is channeling in their side on Roll1. Zad there on the Thrall channeling on the bottom side. There's the throw onto Gary as well as the Bull. He's going to have to jump back out there on the Murden. He's getting drained currently. He's going to go ahead and fall down because he got entombed. There's skeletal mages getting out from Zul on the side. Going to have to be killed off here by the Greymane before they're able to get the channel, but anyone's going to go ahead and secure that now. Meanwhile, Thrall is back to picking up the siege camp there for Roll1. Oh, here you're going to keep vision there. He's going to gravity lapse the Garrosh, allowing Roll1 to get out, as well as all the little sapper buddies. Caffeinated Knights are going to go ahead and try to pick up their sappers now as well. I would like to see Roll1 maybe try to position around this a little bit. They would have to be careful of False Head Gust push them in, but it looks like they're just going to go ahead and concede this over. So not only do they concede the tower back, but there's camp that they just picked up is also going to go down. Well, the Yorick is going to fall in his place. 10 kills to 7 right now in favor of Roll1. Zul, of course, went full W build because that's still the unnerfed build that already was really good. Weaken being ridiculous, 40% less damage. Gravity Lapse there onto the Garrosh, so is going to keep that Gust into Taunt combo from going off. They are still going to go ahead and land it and kill Thrall in the end. Now their Bullet's going to go out there onto someone. I don't know. I was looking at the Garrosh, or Greymane, because I thought it was on him. Garrosh, though, is going to go ahead and fall next. Rocka's still alive at 200 health there on Murden. Yorick is now going to resurrect on top of Roll1. He's going to land the Entomb onto KT, who's going to be dove there by the Greymane. He's trying to kill him off in time. Falsta's using his W on him as well, the Lightning Rod, but they're unable to kill Poe. Poe is going to be able to back off now, as now Greymane is being zoned out by the Murden once again. And a 1-for-1 trade there that felt like it should have gone a lot more in Caffeinated's favor. They are at even talent tiers now, 18 to 18 as well. Roll1 slightly ahead here on the race, but they're able to heal up very quickly with those stacked up potions that were already down here. Decker Kane is going to try to channel, but realizes the Anduin's there as well as the Greymane, so he's going to play it a little bit safe, going to wait back there. Rock is sitting at a very idle 0.25% of his health there, as now he's going to pop his 16, start healing back up as they're going in here. There's the Bullet onto him as well as the Avatar being popped as well. There's the Root onto the Yorick as well as Entomb coming out onto the Zul. Greymane's going to die for it as the Yorick dies. There's the big Gust coming out, but they're going to turn around and kill Greymane instead. They're not able to get any kills on the side of Caffeinated Knights right now. They're now down 8 kills to 13, and they just weren't able to get anything. Garrosh was still not with them just yet. Now this bottom tower will once again probably turn around and go in favor of Roll1. Murden's going to go ahead and jump out here. Zul is going to go ahead and land a Root. They do need to burn the building a little bit before they die. Big Beard there is down to minus 40 armor and down to quite a few health. He's going to go ahead and move back to the double soaking as the building is now down to 328 health. There it goes. Now the fort is once again, Roll1 just needs to back off, maybe steal away a sapper camp or do their own until this tower actually respawns. Looks like they're going to opt to invade the enemy sapper camp, while Azul is threatening to push down mid keep as well. Potentially threatening a mid cap right now, as the other two keeps are at half or lower health than their max health, I guess. I guess that would be the proper wording and true statement. The Roll1 could honestly just look for a quick triple tap, or 6 cap here, and then potentially just end the game with it. Zul is sitting in mid, looking to potentially take that one down. In fact, he's actually going to rotate back down. Gust is available here, as well as, I'm guessing, Flight. So, Volstead, if they line up too much here on the side of Roll1, could potentially fly behind and do the quick Gust into the Death Zone. Here comes Skeletal Mages out of Zul. The only alter fit is going to be the mid one this time around. Bullet going out onto Zul, but here comes the Flight from the Volstead onto 3 members, who's going to have to instantly barrel away. Now Roll1 is going to push in mid a little bit here, looking for that extra shot coming out from them, potentially right before the altar spawns. And that is the Thunderstorm picked up there by the Thrall, and there goes the mid fort as well. There's a huge wave up here. I'd love to see Zul run top and then threaten to take that building as well, as Roll1 picks up another altar, this time with 5 shots, sending them to 5 health left. Boss +1 is all they need left on the side of Roll1 to start their comeback. Caffeinated Knights looking around here. Looks like they're potentially looking for a pickoff, but Garrosh was getting a little bit farther ahead from his team. As now the Murden runs forward. He's actually going to miss his storm, but now he's going to be thrown forward. There's the bullet and the taunt, and Murden is going to fall, as well as the light bomb coming out onto the Thrall. Sunder going to interrupt the Inuit from doing much more. There goes the Pyroblast onto Garrosh once again, the only person it's been on. KT is going to be hit by the wind tunnel, and so is Thrall, and they're both going to fall because of it. Poor Garrosh has been the only target of Pyroblast so far this game. And he's died every time to it. As now it's Caffeinated Knights' turn to cap the bottom bell towers. Caffeinated Knights now going to rotate mid, try to take that that bell tower back. Well, Zul could have been threatening top, but it actually looks like they're going to rotate all the way up and go for the boss. Looks like Caffeinated Knights just won as many shots. They want to deny this as an out option for Roll1. If Roll1 can recap bottom and Caffeinated Knights don't retake mid because they're busy taking the boss, this next altar phase could be the last. Even if they don't, as long as Roll1 has 4 shots available to them, they could very easily try to end this game. Looks like they're not going to have enough time. In fact, they might not get any altars here. If they're not careful, they are going to be able to retake bottom in time. But can they get any interrupts? As Caffeinated Knights are very aggressively positioned. In fact, they're not even going to try on the side of Roll1. They're going to give over 2 altars. They're going to eat 8 shots here, sending them to 9. And in favor, try to steal away the siege camp that is Caffeinated Knights. As now the Yorick is wrapping around, so are 3. There's a split team fight here coming out of Caffeinated Knights, as there's some ultimates being popped up. There's the root attack card, as well as there's the wind tunnel and the Lornado coming out. Pyroblast is going to go on someone besides Garrosh. This time it's going to go on to Falstead, who's going to go ahead and die to it as his shield times out just before it. But KT is going to die for it, potentially, as yes, he will. Raymond able to channel him deep, but there's the stun coming out of the Deckard. Or the Murden, I don't know. They both have auto attack stuns there. And now it's 1 for 2 in favor of Roll1 in this team fight. And now they're pushing forward. They do have the Zul available to them, and they have 1 Sapper. They could threaten to take this bell tower once again from Caffeinated Knights. Gonna push forward here. There goes the Sapper, unable to be interrupted in time. And they are pushing forward. There's gonna go out on route onto Leoric, who actually doesn't keep Wraithwalk going long enough to stop it, but there's the Entomb. Here comes the Lornado, pushing Leoric into his own Entomb to keep him from being able to do anything. And now Roll1's able to back off. They trade a 30-second Lornado for a 950-second Entomb. These Entombs have been solid. He's always caught someone in them, but they haven't quite been able to get the follow-up needed to secure the kills in it every time. Rock's able to zone out here in the middle once again as Roll1 picks up their camp. Caffeinated Knights, Falstead's going to use the tunnel. little risky. Roll1 Poe isn't going to opt for that, as now we're going to see the fight for the bottom altar phase. There's going to be the throw onto Garrosh, or from Garrosh onto Thrall. He's still not dead, but there goes the taunt. He's going to go ahead and fall down now. Light Bulb coming out as well. Rock is going to go ahead and pop his Avatar State, but there comes the Wind Tunnel onto 2. 3 really, knockback 3, but it's really keeping the Zul and KT from doing much. The false state of Leoric there as well. Poe's in trouble here, but it's the Greymane who's being zoned out heavily. Now it's Greymane's turn to eat a Pyroblast to the face. He's barely able to, or Falstad was able to kill off Zul because of it, using the Lightning Rod. But now Falstad's threatening the KT. Murden's the only person left here fighting on the side of Roll1. He's going to go ahead and fall because he doesn't have the mana left. But here's a ton of potions here for Roll1E, but she could have just picked up and acted as the tank there for the KT, but they're just going to have to concede this objective as well. This could be the comeback Caffeinated needed to really get this game back. It is now 5 shots to 5 shots left for each team. Either team has altars that could just go for under half health and potentially end this game very soon. Next altar phase could very well show a 5 versus 3 shot scenario for one team where they have to figure out how they're going to deal with it. And there goes the Entomb onto KT there, but he does have the Deckard option available. There's the Wind Tunnel trying to zone the Deckard out. The Light Bomb is going to go ahead and miss this time, as there's the Sunder, but it's going to push the Garrosh into the Death Zone just long enough for, or the Leoric into the Death Zone just long enough for Leoric to fall. And the tower is still alive and in shape. Now you have Thrall in Deckard instead of KT in Deckard here in the bot lane. Caffeinated Knights are going to go ahead and pick up their siege camp now in the bot lane, which either team could take bottom bell towers. 1085 left, 5592. Both bell towers under 6k health, and both, well, Caffeinated Knights have sappers behind them as well, so they could easily burst down this keep here. As now, Caffeinated Knights are pushing up. It is a 4v4 scenario down here. There's the Skeletal Mage just being popped out from Zul. There's the Entomb onto 2. Verdon's going to go ahead and get out. There's the Bolt coming out. Avatar State as well. The Rewind. Entomb coming out, or Light Bomb coming out, but it's going to be blocked off by the Sunder, which is World Breaker. Now, both teams have basically used all their ults, and now the altar phase is going to spawn. And it is even worse for both teams as it's a double altar phase, which means it's still anyone's game. Very easily, Murden's going to get thrown out from this one. The taunt from Garrosh is going to miss. He's going to need that cooldown here in a second when this fight's working out. Lyrics is actually going to go up and try to get the channel here in the mid one, which is going to keep them from being able to win here on the side of Roll1 for this altar phase. The Wind Tunnel able to stun 3 out, and Waniva is going to go ahead and fall there on the Deckard, but not before getting a root off onto the Garrosh. But Garrosh is able to heal up with the W, and the game's over. I'm not even sure where that last shot came from. They must have gotten... No, I don't know. They had four shots. Did they finish both channels? did I miss someone channeling there? That's 2 over for Caffeinated Knights though. I'm gonna have to watch the replay here as you guys are also watching it. While the replay is trying to catch up here, we do see Greymane just topping the hero damage there. No one quite on Roll1 able to keep up, as well as Zul just dominating the siege though. Go ahead and move into a lobby there for Caffeinated Knights if they choose to have an interview. Sitting in lobby 1. Yeah, so they just... Yeah, Caffeinated Knights just had someone finish the channel in the middle of that team fight.
Hello there!
Hello! How are you feeling?
Did your knights impress you, your majesty?
Yes. You guys did well.
We didn't do that well in the second game, though. That was really close.
You made it more exciting by having the comeback.
Oh yeah, the comeback was really fun. So much sustained damage, and we didn't really have the follow-up for the Garrosh half the time, and we didn't really coordinate that well. But we're a new team. We're getting there.
Is this your guys' first season of NGS as a team?
Yes, it is. It is.
Oh, well, welcome to the NGS community.
Thank you. All
Um,
right.
Before we get started in the interview, I did post in chat for all of you watching the link to the NGS caster review form, which you could opt to fill out now, or you can go back and you can fill out at the end of the interview if you so choose to. As it is something NGS is asking casters to do, so that way you guys can provide feedback to us and the NGS caster community as a whole on what it is you guys are looking for from us. Now
Nice.
So now back to your regularly scheduled interview.
Okay, so where did you post that?
Oh, it is just in Twitch chat.
Oh, Twitch. I'm not in that.
All right, I'll repost it again towards the end for anyone who's joining it just now, or if you want to open it up and have that setting open in the background.
Yeah.
So, Game 1, Dragon Shire.
Oh, we love that map. We were so happy when the enemy team picked it.
Yes, both teams wanted to go to Dragon Shire. Forgot I was showing my face. I have to sit normally. So you guys ended up with first pick on Dragonshire, which is always just a little bit awkward for that offlane matchup. Is Lyric just like, obviously, if anything I ask and you're like, that's giving away too much, feel free to say something.
Okay.
Is Leoric just like your offlaner's just like comfort pick? Is that why he went for it? Or was it because you guys saw like the Malthael ban and were like, well, if they're banning out percent damage, we should probably take percent damage?
I mean, Leoric and Malthael have a really good abilities. So Malthael is really good for the fast double soaking, of course, or getting in for kills and diving in hard. Leoric is really good for entombs as well. And we were like, we're kind of an entomb comp for both of these. It's gonna be fun, right? So we went in for the entomb those two games, and it really paid off.
That's good. Let's see. Game 1, you had Johanna, Hanzo, Sylvanas, Leoric, and your healer was... Anduin was on the other team. You guys are running Stukov.
Yeah, we wanted Anduin. Those evil people. We were trying to run the double paladin, double archer comp.
It may have worked out more in Roll1's favor if you had Anduin.
No!
Because Stukov dominated on interrupting those moshes. He interrupted every single mosh.
They were so good, and Harb has been doing really well this season so far, although we've only had 5 games, but he got the MVP last matchup, too. Our healer.
Definitely putting in work. Definitely a player to be watching out for coming in future games.
Exactly, but this season, this matchup, we're giving it to Jaeger because of his awesome gusts and great wailing arrow. So the gusts were game changing at the end there, as you could see.
Yes, the wind tunnel gusts, right, were basically just mini moshes on the one or two people every fight.
And then you just have Greymane doing his splash basic attacks and just diving in for those kills. It's crazy.
Yes. So you guys won game 1. Probably felt really good, and then you go into game 2, you get that first blood once again in under a minute, and then you guys just slowly started following behind. At what point did you guys like, was there like a, alright, let's take a deep breath moment, let's rezone, we still got this, it's Towers of Doom? Or was it more of just like, kind of after, eventually you won?
It was on one of the team fights, like they were on our separate camp, we were saying to invade. We got a team wipe because we weren't together, and they were like, all right, let's breathe in. We got this type thing. A little bit of screaming, a little bit of yelling, but I was trying to mediate it a little bit. And, we kind of pulled it together after that. And that's when you started to see that we got Entombs off, Greymane kills, the Falstead Gus, the Joanna engages, the Stukov interrupts. It's just all came together very nicely there.
Would you guys say that you're a salty group of players? Like, is there a lot of like angry yelling, or is it more of just like you're just a group of loud players?
40% salt, about 30% neutral, and then Harb is just the one that mediates. He's like the nice one. Of course, he's the healer though.
Yeah, shout out to the nice guys.
Shout out to the nice guy. He kept it.
Let's see. What was there a point during the second game that you thought, crap, we should probably be planning for game 3 because it looks like we're just out of this. Like we're behind so far, it's gonna be hard. Or was it more
I don't
just
think
like you're
that
focusing in the moment?
I don't think so. Here's like a little bit of advice for anyone: don't focus on the next game. Focus on the game that you're in, and always like give it your all, even if you feel like you're going to lose it. And even if you're going to lose it, just keep in that mindset, and you'll win more games that way. Because in HOTS, you can have one team fight and come back from everything.
I do know that. I was asking that because it's more common in like Dota 2, where like a pro team will just like sit in fountain for like the last 2 minutes of the game, or it'll, like basically you could tell that they like zoned out because they're just discussing the next game while the opponent still has to focus in on this game. I don't know. It's just something I was thinking of randomly.
HOTS is a different MOBA though. It's
Yeah.
one team fight can change the tide of the entire game. So you have to keep your everything inside the game at once.
6.5 out of 10, no comeback mechanics.
6.5 out of 10, yes.
Is there anything anything else you just want to discuss from those 2 games? Like anything that's just like, this was exciting, like this moment.
I really thought the double arrows were like really, really exciting. Where you just get a dragon arrow for the engage and then a wailing arrow so they can't escape after the stun parachute.
We did see his he had a lot of really good dragon arrows, like 2 to 4
That was me.
consistently. Nice. You didn't miss your first one though. You just weaved it
don't
through everyone.
No one saw that. No.
We all saw that one. We talked about that one for like 30 seconds.
It's fine. With Hanzo, you can't really expect to hit everything. But those dragon arrows that you do hit are game changing.
I did notice that you went for the Sonic Arrow upgrade at 20. Is that your common pickup, or was that a situation?
I always go that unless I'm going Dragon Strike, but you don't go Dragon Strike.
I always look at it and go, that has to be the better talent. And then I only take it like 25% of the time.
Well, a good... it takes a lot of practice, right? But I'm a level 150 plus Hanzo. I practice a lot. But it also can be used as a follow-up stun.
Yeah.
It's really good with that. And I was able to get a stun on Jaina. It didn't get followed up on, but if it did, it would have been a kill. You could just have it as an engage tool as well. Just fire it off. Or you can use it for quick reveals, because sometimes the Sonic Arrow takes like 3 seconds to get into the reveal stage, and then you could go. But with this one, you just need to wait like 1 second, and then you're in.
Yeah, it is a very quick, just, there it is.
There it is. And if someone's in the bush, you put it in the bush, and then they're stunned, engage, dead. Yeah. It's a good talent. I just think that it's really good for people who practice Hanzo a lot.
So, advice to all you Hanzo players out there. Play of the game's not the pick. It always felt weird, because it's like, all it really does is give you 200% damage. Like, not 200%. That would be a really good talent. 200 more damage
well,
on every target.
The problem with so play of the game isn't necessarily bad.
No,
don't get me wrong.
Anything that's
really
a global
good.
is instantly good.
It's a global teleport, but if you're in competitive, it's not that good because you're going to be with your team the entire time, right? So really, what are you going to be using that global for? Nothing. You're going to be using that engage and then right away bullseye, and there are kills already. So why would you need to play the game? Bullseye actually adds something to your kit.
In the counter argument, because I do see teams that when you reach 20, obviously Hanzo now plays as the offlaner. He's defending base and then teleports in. I also have seen a game. This was like 4 seasons ago. It was, I believe, heroic difficulty. It was whatever team Jamster and French were playing on at the time, whatever that team name was. It was a 9-man team wipe, and Hanzo was the only person left alive, and he plays the game from their core to the enemy core to win the game. That is like
Play of the game, actually.
Yes, it was. It was exciting.
I think that it's extremely niche in that sort of situation.
Yeah, that's like
Also, why
like a
why would
Ariel
you
flight. Like,
why would you send Hanzo out to be your soul laner or clear? And with that, it's really misses you out on some of your abilities.
Mhm.
And also, you lose your dragon arrow when you put it in because you're most likely going to miss it at that long of range. So what are you gaining from it? And no, you're just losing an ultimate if you're going to be that way.
all right.
But that's just my 2 cents as a Hanzo main, and there are different Hanzo mains out there. Don't get me wrong, but
You went W build. All right. As someone who also plays Hanzo competitively when I'm playing, do you still go W build every time?
in competitive, 100% of the time.
Thank you. I, to this date, since Hanzo was released to this date, have played Q build 0 times. I've
Q
played
build?
auto attack build, but I have never played Q build.
Q build is good in quick match when you don't have a tank or a healer. You need that long range distance. It's good. It's fine. Storm League sometimes because they draft out weird things, but in competitive there really isn't that weird thing. But
You just haven't faced the
level
right
7?
teams.
Level 7, I must say, always go, never outmatched. But
Now I have to check to see what that talent is.
that's the Scar Arrow cooldown reduction.
Oh.
No matter what build you're going, I just say it's the best talent.
It's a really good one, even post nerf.
I could go on a Hanzo rant all you want, but
Me
I'm
too.
pretty sure people get bored.
Sharpened arrowhead though for auto attack build is what I still go when I go auto attack.
Oh,
build.
oh,
Just
you're hurting me, man.
you go for the tank buster, so you have to get the minus armor. Anyways, any shoutouts you want to do before we wrap this up?
I don't think so, but I want to shout out to all mothers because it's Mother's Day, and well, you're allowing your sons and daughters to play in an NGS game during Mother's Day. Shout out to
you.
you.
NGS game at 3 p.m. today, Eastern.
Why would you do that to your mothers? No, that's the time to spend with her and treat her out, you know?
Anyways, any more shoutouts since I interrupted you halfway through?
Nah, I think that's really good. I want to shout out to Roll1Esports for being such a good sport. They were really kind all throughout. Well, we'll face you again next time. Hopefully you'll be in playoffs.
All right. And with that, I would like to thank you all for coming out and watching. Thank you to both teams for putting on such a great performance for us tonight. Shout out to NGS for putting it all together. And as always, we'll see you next time in the Nexus.